In this video, I'm going to break down one of the most important things that allowed us to scale to $100 million in sales in 2 years that most people, especially people in the online realm, they really take it for granted and they diminish the importance of it either through due to the lack of awareness or through the lack of skill set required to execute on what I'm about to share. But before I do so, just to show some proof about what we've done, here's just some stats in terms of our monthly numbers. We're doing anywhere from 5 to 7 million a month. This is how much net cash we're collecting per week. Here's some of our metrics. You can see our quiz conversion rate has been growing rapidly, and this is the head count. This is the number of sales reps that we have in one of our clients. And my core concept is that most businesses they can't scale not because they don't have the skill sets, but because they lack the understanding of this formula over here, which is the automations and technology, the ability to have competent people and smart processes in place, um, avoiding the noise of not having systems and not having clear, accurate, automated data. And from there, they're also limited due to the total addressable market that they have. So if you're selling affiliate marketing, there's only so many people that are interested in that, right? But if you're selling, weight loss programs, there's 1,000x more people that are interested in solving their problem. So the growth is also capped by the total addressable market, which is equated to the growth potential. And the thing that I want to share in this video that I think it's very important is the testing for the tripwire mechanisms and how just creating an optimization schedule and just thinking a little bit more scientifically about your funnel, your process, you're going to be able to drastically improve your performance, especially if you already have somewhat of a volume going, like you're doing 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. That will really start moving the needle up without necessarily you having to hire a ton of people or modify your whole process or spend more dollars on ads. So it's really like untapped potential that we're talking here. And basically, I just want to cover here some of the funnels that are currently working, not necessarily for coaches and consultants. If that's your focus, that's going to work as well. I just don't think it's a good niche. Um, but basically, for direct to consumer brands and even B2B brands, for the most part, there's either just quickly going over this, there's three content actors, right? Three traffic actors. One of them being the enterprise activities that the company does, such as SEO articles, anything that doesn't require actual human to be the face of it. I would consider an enterprise type of traffic generating activity. SEO being the most important one and often the most neglected. The influencer, which is the one that most people are focusing on, like producing short form, long form content, having a face to the brand, and referral partners, like any software that you're a partner with, any other influencer that you're making some sort of campaign together and whatnot. And then it all goes to these channels, right? Either social, cold traffic, content creation, SEO, referral. All of them have a different economics, right? You spend a certain amount of dollars to create a content that generate a certain amount of impressions, that generate a certain amount of clicks, conversions, etc. You spend a certain amount of dollars on ads that generates a certain CPM, that has a certain click-through rate, cost per click, etc. Same for social distribution. You send X amount of DMs or you reply to X amount of DMs, you set up a workflow, ManyChat, etc. SEO, you create the articles, and referral, you also receive leads. But the most important thing to focus here is the untapped potential in these this simple workflow over here, right? That's typically how, that's actually how we scale to 100 million. So basically, there's multiple low ticket offers, multiple lead magnets, and here's the thing that like most people take it for granted, right? I would just put like, let me just move this away and let's just name this optimization flow. Optimization, this would be like the optimization flow one. Basically, with this whole flow, you have one, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points to optimize. And inside these 7 points, you have multiple iterations that you can do within the page in order to increase these conversions, right? So let's think about, for example, the low ticket landing page. You can run split tests that would test the page. Just, you can change the headline, you can change the sub headline, you can add content, you can remove content, you can add a video, you can add an image, you can add an image carousel, you can add testimonials, you can add social proof pop-ups, you can add an exit intent pop-up, you can add a banner on the top, you can add a timer. So there's multiple things you can add here in and of itself that would increase the overall conversions of your page without necessarily increasing any ad spend. Also, another thing you can test is the price point of the low ticket, the main one especially, because imagine for a second that this is $97 and you still have an order bump, an upsell one, a downsell one, an upsell two, and a downsell two. So basically you have 5 other possibilities, right? Let's put it this way. After the person puts their credit card on the first option here, there's definitely a sweet spot in terms of what is the main price that you want to put here in the front end, the actual face, like before they submit their credit card information, that would allow you to recoup and liquidate all of your investment in the front end ads with this price point. So if let's say this is $97 and it's converting at 2%, but your average order value is $150, what if you change the price of this to $27 and you modify the pricing of the upsells so that it gets the same average order value, but you increase the conversions here on the top part of the funnel, and therefore you've moved them through the next step, and then you have all these other points to optimize, right? So if you think about it this way, you will understand that what most businesses are doing is they think they're doing this, but they aren't necessarily doing it because they haven't necessarily created a testing schedule and hypotheses and the assets required to test all these pages, or they don't even have these pages per se, which is fine. But just to show that, with increases in ad spend, your overall profitability is going to go down. And if you want to at least maintain this to scale even further, it is very important that because you have more traffic coming in as you're scaling, that you're also optimizing every single touch point here, especially on this initial conversion flow. And then what happens after they convert? Basically, I would recommend you have a welcome flow where pretty much it's indoctrination / upselling already to the back end. And people may think like, why would you upsell them immediately after the back end? Because they have already purchased, right? And if you can exceed their expectations with what you're delivering here, or even like if you have a strong welcome flow here, they're very likely to buy your higher ticket product. And the good thing is that even if they don't buy immediately, you can still send them email campaigns and put them on follow-ups, reach out with the setter to get them to, submit your backend form and book a call and then hop on the call and convert. But here, in these welcome flow, which by the way, like when we run this funnel, on average, 54 to 60% of the new high ticket buyers that we have are coming in as new buyers, which we qualify the new buyers as anybody that purchased the front end program 14 days or less. So here in this welcome flow, there's multiple things you can test, right? Such as the content of the message, you can test the subject line, you can test the length of this welcome flow, you can test adding specific activities to this welcome flow, such as a welcome call or a SMS, along with the emails. The reason why I say like you can add these stuff, it's because it gets more expensive. So if you have a huge volume, you just want to make sure you're doing this systematically. Otherwise, you're going to be increasing your costs without necessarily generating a tangible profit. Because if you're not doing systematized, you definitely don't have an hypothesis with the independent variables that would allow you to come to a meaningful conclusion here, which is very important too. Most apps like Go High Level or ClickFunnels, like their A/B test functionality, it's not good. I wouldn't recommend using that because it triggers based on events, so it's not a cookie based A/B testing. So basically, if I land on your page, I'm gonna see both of them multiple times and count this as a conversion. And also, it doesn't give any meaningful stats, meaning like it doesn't give you the amount of conversions required to come to any meaningful conclusion based on a 95% confidence interval. So I would recommend using either VWO or PageSense. PageSense, in my opinion, it's much better and much cheaper. So here you can modify to increase the length of the message, the content of the message, the content of the subject line, adding specific activities in here. The backend form as well. There's a landing page here that every landing page you can edit multiple things, right? There's trust builders, there's FOMO, there's social proof, there's credibility. So all these things you need to test, because sometimes adding all these things won't be the highest converting. So you really gotta be testing each single thing of the page in order to get to a highest converting page. For example, for us in specific, the most meaningful thing that you can do to optimize the quality of your page is having all the call to actions, having as much as clear of information as possible above the fold. Above the fold, I mean everything that if you look from a mobile or if you look from a desktop is before scrolling down, because 90% of the people that land on our page won't scroll down if what they see instantly is not important for them. So you want to make sure that the above the fold section has the conversion action that you wanna give to the customers, such as like scheduling a call or submitting a form or watching a video or making a purchase. Like the call to action has to be clear, as well as like the main asset that would be like either a hero image or a headline, sub-headline, content, video, etc. And that goes like for the form, the booking page, the thank you page. You can test different videos, you can test different messages here. I don't really think this makes a huge difference. Like the thank you page won't make a huge difference for you. People think like, oh, you can add the case studies, you can add a video, you can add like how to prepare for the call. Listen, nobody's gonna read, all right? You may think they do, but if you look at their bounce rates, if you look at the average time spent on the page, most people won't read, or just they book a call and that's it. They know it's a thank you page, so they know that the information there is somewhat irrelevant, unless you're doing like a B2B, you're well positioned. But for most direct to consumer brands, like this page, it's nice, but what really will share the knowledge, share the information that you want them to see on this page, it's the pre-call flow, like your reminders, your confirmation messages, anything that you share before the call. Sharing case studies is relevant if you have, let's say, collected specific information about the person here that would allow you to customize and personalize the pre-call flow to that specific person. That's even better. Let's say, for example, there's your agency, and basically this is like for your recurring services of digital marketing, and then the person say they have interest in the SEO, your SEO services. On the booking page and on the confirmation pages, it's interesting that you put SEO related content as well as the pre-call flow. So let's say, for example, if you already had a previous company in the insurance niche that had 10,000 monthly visitors and you scale up to 100,000 monthly visitors organically with SEO, I think it's relevant to add this information here as a segmentation point instead of being like, hey, your call is going to happen in 24 hours. It would be much different than saying like, hey, Antonio, I saw you schedule a call. I'm excited to jump on this call with you. By the way, here's a previous client that we had that was just exactly like you. Just wanted to share this testimonial, this video case study for you to watch, and I'm excited to get your thoughts in the call. Something like that, I'm just butchering here, but you get the gist of it. Everything has to be as customized as possible to meet the customer where they're at, talk about their problem, and talk about how you're gonna solve them. And each single page has to be optimized to the fullest. Every single aspect of the page has to be optimized multiple times. In the pre-call flow, you can optimize it by, I'll give you a tip. Like, basically, whenever someone books a call, you can do some JavaScript to A/B test, or split between 4 or 5 different confirmation messages, and then you can add a custom field in the contact records in the CRM, so that whenever someone shows up, cancel or no show, or becomes a customer, you have tracked which confirmation message they came from, and that would allow you to, throughout time, depending on the number of conversions you have per day, to calculate if these results are statistically significant, to make a conclusion that a specific confirmation message leads to a higher show up rate. Because show up rate is as good as like a close rate if you can improve, right? Like, basically, it's the closest to the conversion metric that you can have. So anything you can do to increase the show up rates will definitely help you increase your numbers. I can go on about like these metrics and stuff like in a different video, but the point of this video here is that on each step of the funnel, there are multiple points you should optimize. Over here on the flow, on the back end flow, and even on the customer experience, right? Because what most people do, it's they build one thing and they keep running it for years, and they think it's gonna continue to work. If you're still doing like a landing page with a form, with a VSL, and then a booking page, and then a thank you page today, it can work, but it won't work as good as 2018, 2019, especially because people are accustomed to it. Economic scenario is different, and there's a bunch of shitty ass scammers out there that messed up with the reputation of online businesses somewhat. So you must optimize every single step of your funnel, especially if you're ready to start getting some traction on ads. And if you're running cold traffic ads, paid traffic, you're spending $1,000, $5,000 a day. I think it's very important, because it isn't necessarily like just testing the ad, but the whole flow that is going to allow you to keep scaling profitably and making more money. But that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the optimization paths that helped us get to 100 million in 2 years. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment, and make sure you hit the like button. But if you didn't enjoy, that's alright. There's other people out there that you can watch. I just hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.